Hello, today we're going to be doing lesson 2.7, units of time. Okay, so for our lesson, if you haven't quite figured out, we are going to be converting hours, minutes, and seconds. Big deal there, right? But this is a life skill, something that you need to be able to do. So let's say that we have the measurement scale that we saw on the other screen there. How can we use the measurement scale to find out how many minutes are in 3 hours? Think about that. How could we use that measurement scale to find out how many minutes are in 3 hours? So let's look here. How many minutes are in 3 hours? So here's our hours. Here's our minutes. So if we look at 3 hours right here, we can see that it is 180 minutes. Now, if I give you the problem, Natalia spent 4 hours and 20 minutes. So 4 hours, 20 minutes, working on a project about rocketry. How about that? How can we use the measurement scale to find out how many minutes Natalia worked? Can we figure out how many minutes if we have 4 hours, 20 minutes? So we know that 4 hours, if we look at the scale here, 4 hours is 240 minutes. So what I would do is take that 240 minutes and I would add that to the 20 minutes, and I would get 260 minutes total, because we would have to change the hours to minutes so that they're in the same unit. Okay, so how could you use your answer to the 3 hours to find how many minutes are in 6 hours? So remember back to our problem with the 3 hours, we figured out that that was 180 minutes. If I wanted to figure out 6 hours, how many minutes would that be? I could use my chart, but what if I didn't have my chart? I could just double the 180, right? So if we took 180 and 180, and we added that together, we would have 360 minutes. Okay, what if I gave you 4 minutes to find the number of seconds in 12 minutes? Could you do that? How many seconds are in 12 minutes? Now, if you look up here at my chart, this is minutes and seconds. Could we figure that out? 12 minutes, how many seconds is that? Our chart only goes to 10. So could we use that information for how many seconds are in 1 minute? Wait a minute. This sounds like what we did when we converted yards to feet and those other customary units that we did a few lessons back. So yes, we are going to use the same method. So as long as we know what 1 is, we can figure out any number, okay? So let's work this out. 12 minutes is equal to how many seconds? Okay, again, we know that 1 minute is 60. So could we do what? Multiplication? 12 times 60? Or we could do 60 plus 60 plus 60 plus 60. What are we going to do here? Okay, since I don't want to add 60 12 times, I'm going to multiply. So the way we would set that up, and I know that you're not doing double-digit multiplication yet, but there are some other shortcuts that we can do. So we're going to do 0 times 2, which is 0. 0 times 1, which is 0. We're going to mark our spot here because we've already multiplied in our ones column, so we're going to move to the tens. 6 times 2 gives me 12, and 6 times 1 plus 1 is going to give me 7. So we add that together, and some of you could use your lattice multiplication if you remember how to do that, but that would equal 720 seconds. Now, if I knew another shortcut like 6 minutes was 360 seconds and 12 minutes is double that, right? So another way that we could have done that was to take that 360 and add another 360. And that would also give us the same answer. And we just doubled it because it was 12 minutes instead of 6. So just a little shortcut. But yes, there's different ways that we can go about doing this if we don't know how to multiply a 2-digit times a 2-digit number. So find something that you know, something that you're comfortable with, and then you could use addition if you needed to. So these are some ways that we can use this table to help us convert back and forth between minutes and seconds, hours and minutes, and as you can see, we're using addition, we're using multiplication, and those kinds of things to help us. So again, you're going to have access to this chart, and once you get the hang of using the chart, then you won't need it anymore because it'll become one of those reference sheets kind of things like you have in your SMJ when you can look at, how many feet are in a yard or something like that. So you really only need to know what the 1 is, and then you can calculate any number after that. In class, we will use a measurement scale or multiplication, division, or addition to convert between units of time. You're terminated for now. See you in class.